Now then, crew, and welcome back to the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel. This is another video in the series of videos that I'm doing on the Honda TRX 500 2019 vintage. Although, to be fair, it covers not just this model over a great number of years. It also covers the TRX 420 and maybe even other models, again, over a number of years. Even some of the side-by-sides will be covered under this. Honda tend to stick with the same kind of EFI system on all their bikes, as do many manufacturers, to be fair. We've just done a video covering how to read the flash codes. Very, very useful if your engine management light is flashing on your dash. That's the ECU telling you basically a code that refers to the circuit, not just the sensor, but the circuit and associated sensor where there is a potential fault on the bike. Probably a rub through wire. 9 times out of 10 it's a broken wire. But once you've fixed the fault, you know, go and watch that video. It'll tell you there's a code table in there. Once you fix the fault, it may not self-clear, which means you've got to go in and manually clear the codes. Obviously, the Honda technicians can do that really easily with their scan tool. But for you, you need to go through a manual process to do that. And this short video will show you how to do that. Ready? Okay, roll the intro. Used.
You don't paint something without warping.
Honestly. Okay, so first of all, we need to know where the DLC, or data link connector, as Honda calls it, is located on this bike. It does vary from model to model, but on the TRX 500, it's located right at the front, at the back of the rack, and pretty central too. So let's go and find that on the bike. Okay, for reference, this is the front headlight on the bike. This bike's got a large toolbox on the front, but you can see a little inspection panel just down there. Just pop that cover off, and you'll see a red connector just here. That's the DLC. Okay, so the first step is to disconnect that red connector. Now, on this particular model, the wire that we want is accessible under the right hand wheel arch. So if you've got a box on like on this bike and you can't really get your fingers in, and I know you shouldn't do this, but you can pull on this wire here a little bit whilst pushing back the clip on the connector itself. Makes it a lot easier because there's not a lot of room to get 2 hands in there, to be fair. I've got hold of the wire. I'm just going to move the little clip back. That's that one there, look. There we go. And you can withdraw that through into the wheel arch. Again, there's more room to work on it under there than there is in this tiny gap here with the box on. Now, if you're wondering where these 2 wires go, the black with the white tracer and the green, they only go a short distance. On this particular bike, there's a power outlet just here, 12 volts. And you can see here, look, that's those 2 wires. So by unplugging it, this will no longer work. So for us to tell the ECU that we want to erase the codes, we need to connect the brown wire with the red tracer to the green wire on that red plug. Now, sure, you can back probe, but most people don't have back probes, the little tiny pins that you put down, you know, through the seal at the back of the plug. So you're going to need to go in from the front. Obviously, Honda have a special tool, which is a connector with a looped wire on it. But even then, it's not ideal. So grab yourself a couple of very small split pins and open them out. There you go, look, you see? I don't know if you can see those on the picture or not. A couple of little tiny split pins. Make sure that they have the size that will enter the contact on the plug, and with a small amount of resistance, go in. You don't want to be forcing them in because you'll splay open the contactor in the plug and you'll have problems in the future. I can guarantee it. So just, you know, be gentle with this. Now, because of the location of that connector, being trapped between a box and a headlight and down in a recess, Honda haven't really pick the right place for it. Most of those bikes will have some kind of box mounted to the front. Makes it quite difficult to do what we need to do next. So in addition to the split pins, I have got a little test fly lead thing made up, a couple of crocodile clips which will clip to said split pins, and a switch. Okay, all will become apparent very shortly. If you've got a friend, you don't need the switch, you can just connect the two wires together, but you need to be able to do that if you're not going to use a fly lead under the wheel arch, and you don't get a lot of time to do this. You'll find out why. Here we go. Okay, now brown with a red tracer. There it is. That one just there, and there's the green. So we'll pop that one in there. See, that goes in nice and easy. And then we'll get this one. We'll just stick him in there. That's the green. There we go, look. Okay, so they are in. Sure, I could cut those down a bit if I want to. Now, little fly lead, doesn't matter how we connect it. I'll stick one on there. We don't want these things touching when, you know, and making a connection when we don't want them to be making a connection. So there we go, we're on. Right, top side. Okay, so step one is to connect these two wires from the DLC. Our little switch is in the on position, so they are connected. We've got to turn the ignition on, and as soon as we turn it on, we're going to break this circuit by turning this switch off. The engine management light should then illuminate for 5 seconds. During that time, we need to reinstate this connection by turning this switch on. Here we go. Should start to flash. There we go. It's now flashing, and we can turn the ignition off. If you turn the ignition off before the engine management light has started to flash, it will not clear the codes. Excellent. Now, just for clarification, when that engine management light is flashing, they are quite short, regular pulses. It's nothing like a flash code where you get long pulses and then short pulses. If that happens, then you've got a bad connection on your two linking wires off the diagnostic plug. Now, bit of feedback. There is no way I could have done that in the correct timing, because you don't get a lot of time to do this. I could not have done that without using some kind of a fly lead. There's no way I could look at the dash and then get under the wheel arch and make that connection to the mill plug, to the diagnostic plug, you know, without it timing out. Having a little switch on a fly lead made it so much easier. It really did. Okay, so hopefully you found this video interesting and helpful. I am sure there are lots of people out there with a TRX 500, TRX 420, basically a Honda ATV that's fuel injected, who need to clear fault codes. They're still there even after you've done the repair. They haven't self-cleared. So, you know, a simple process to follow, but a little bit hit and miss every now and again. I didn't get it the first time, didn't get it the second time. The third time I tried it, it worked. So the timing is critical, as I've explained in this video. So if you're not subscribed, why not click on subscribe, ring the bell, you'll get notifications as and when I upload any new videos. And there's a whole suite of videos going to hit the channel covering testing each of the sensors on the electronic fuel injection and each of the actuators, including the main relay and the cooling fan as well. So we're going to cover all the inputs and outputs to the ECU, and also powers and grounds to the ECU. So it's a very comprehensive suite of videos, which, yes, it's specific to Honda, but also it shows the process for other brands as well, like Yamaha, Kawasaki, Suzuki, and so on. They all work very, very similarly. They just have the odd little difference here and there, which of course the service manual would tell you all about. Now, if you'd like to support the channel, you can do that through Patreon or PayPal. If it's PayPal, just use the email address on the screen right now. Don't send it as a donation, please. Just send it as a payment. Otherwise, it'll get refused. I am not a registered charity, and you have to be if you're doing a donation through PayPal. If you want to send me something, you can do that to my PO box address. I'll put it on the screen for you right now. It can be a letter, it can be an old tool or a new tool, something that you think will benefit the workshop, and you'll get a shout out in a live stream. And also you'll see that tool being used in future videos. And a huge thanks to the individuals and to the companies that have sent me through tools to use. It really, really helps keep this workshop going and allow me to give you, comprehensive content for the channel. Plus it shows the tools in use, which is great too. You'll also find me on Facebook and Instagram if you want to check out the Andy Mechanic profile there. Okay, crew, see you next time. Cheers, over and out.
And you get the flip up again.
Oh,
Really.